Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to dive deeper into Goldbach Time as I understand it. Some updates I made with the indicator so you don't miss the right time, and Goldbach timed FVGs. So that's coming up all in this video. If you like this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe. My name is Jack with Avodah Trading, and let's get right into this. So the basics of Goldbach Time. Let me make these numbers so you can read them a bit easier here. Base text color, let's do, I don't know why it's 20%. Let's do this. So these are the algo paths, algo 1 and algo 2. They're based off Goldbach levels and numbers. They correspond with these numbers up here. I'm not going to get into the teachings of Goldbach, but if you want to learn that, Hoppy is the one to learn it from. Link in the description to learn from him directly. But watching this video, you're probably already familiar with Goldbach, but this video is going to dive a little bit deeper into the time. So the first thing I'll dive into is the paths, right? So we have the beginning, we have path 1 and 0, 11, 14, 41, 44, 0, 37, 17, 23, and then the last number in algo 1 is either 71 or 77 or 29, 35. They're interchangeable. Algo 2, as you can see, it starts with 37, 59, 65, 17, 23, 11, 14, 47, 53, and then the last number is 29, 35. Right now, the last swing low just made was this 47, 53. Let me make these labels a little bit bigger so y'all can see them. And so now it's tracking, it's saying this is the highlight, the current node that's active, and then the next node in line should be the 2935 or the 1114. So we're tracking, if this is potentially algo 2, a 37 must have started somewhere. We go back, here's 37 right here. This could potentially be a 37, is the potential start of this algo. Then we're looking for 59.65 at a swing high or swing low. Here's 59.65, right? Nope. Right here. Swap this liquidity right there. Let me just, and then we're looking for 17.23. There's a lot of lines here. So we're looking at 0, 0. I mean, this could potentially be 17.23. Let's just take this one, for example, 17.23, and then 11.14 up here, and then 47.53 right here. And the last node should be 29.35. So that potentially is right here, could be the end of the algo if that were the path that we're tracking. So according to AJ, the one who really took these teachings, shout out to him and credits to him, to Hoppy, ICT, and him. But AJ was the one who really took these teachings and went deep dive into it. He's got his own mentorship. I'll put the link in that description as well to learn GP time. But you don't need to track the whole sequence, the whole path all the way down. Especially as a beginner, it's just there's so many numbers to track. It gets difficult to track. And so what I do and what he teaches are, if you just track, as reversal traders, we try to trade SMRs, right? Smart money reversals. And one way to do that with time is looking at the number before the end path. So in this case, in algo 1, it's 1723 or 4753, and algo 2, and then the end path number, which could be 2935 or 7177. Those are what my indicator is highlighting, this blue here. I call it an anchor node. So it's the node right before the end path number. So if we get a swing high, a swing low, and a swing high with the anchor path, so for example, let's try to take, here we go, 11.14.00. Let me see if I can find one here. Whoops. Keep marking it up here. Let me. 53. So if I get 29.35 up here somewhere, so we get, it's not a good example because we're in Asia then. Let me look here. Here we go. Okay, so it's hard to tell, but so with my indicator, you could choose to have the swept lines disappear completely, just turn the transparency down to 0, or you can leave them on kind of as ghost nodes as they get swept. So this low right here, it was 936, right? So this number, this candle could be a 35 node. Made a swing high of a 1723. So you could look at that as potentially it's a reverse algo 1. We started down here, or we ended, and maybe this path ended down here at 21 at 35, right there, right? 935. Now we're going to reverse the path and go back to 1723. Boom, 1723. So once we sweep this low, the end path low, and create some BISIs or some structural shifts, then we know that we're bearish for the day. So according to AJ, right? So if we go high, this didn't get swept, we're going to come down, sweep this low, which was a previous end node, come back up, and now we're bearish for the day, which is kind of what happened. This high is protected here, this 1723, right? We never went back into that high because those two end nodes, the end path and the number right before the end number, are what he views, and I think I view, the most important numbers to take in. So, but if in the other case, these two numbers were made, right? Let's go to replay. Let's say that, oops. Let me bring this down here. Let's say that price went from 29.35 an end node, reverse algo 1, 17.23. We came down here, and then we swept and broke above 17.23. Use that as support and go higher. Then that would confirm the bias for that using those two nodes, right? The anchor node and the end path node. So that's how we use that. And then from my understanding too, correct me if I'm wrong, but these algo paths can also like turn around and start with the 1 again. So after an algo path ends at 29.35, it can come back around and start at 00 or start at 37. So what happens with my indicator here is that the latest node was this anchor node at 17.23, right? So this is highlighted. Now it's searching for the next path, which could be either 37 or the end path. Well, it's coming from the end path, right? So the next target we should look for is 37. So in this case, see if it worked out. If we're on algo 1 doing a reverse path on algo 1, then the next target, let's say we went short here after we broke below 29.35. Right, we're going. Break below it. Okay, now broke below it. Now the next target, even though it doesn't say here because it's creating these other paths, the next target should be 37 because that's the next number in the algo path. So that should be our target. So let's say we went short. Let's wait for a retest of that level. It gets retested. Let's say you go short term around here, right? At the skip level, in line with the skip level, and you hold till 37. So let's see if we get a 37. Chopping around a little bit, 29.35. And let's see if we get a 37 as our target. So there's 37. So I mean, oh no, it didn't hold. Did it? There's got to be some, I mean, a reason for price to move too. Like, look at the structure is, so this low ultimately can be the target at from down here, right? So if we extend the numbers of the nodes, let's do 200 and see what number this is. That's why I like keeping the ghost nodes on there per se, is because you can see the previous nodes. And because if it's swept and it's zeroed out or grayed, or it's disappeared altogether, then you won't be able to see these past nodes. Okay, I don't know why it's not loading up. Anyway, so the next in line should be a swing low of 3.7. So let's see, that should be either 307. I'm sorry, in this case, 103 or 107, right? Because we're coming up to 1 o'clock. Let's see if it forms that. Okay, so here it is. So there's 3.7 right there. It's a swing high, 303. Let's see if it hits it at 307. 1114. Okay, there it is. Well, no, maybe not. Let's see if it creates a swing low. Oh, there it is. There's 3.7. Okay, so because we kept getting swept, right? So here's the here's 3.7. So let me delete these. The logic is, just to summarize, because we're using these anchor nodes. We have an end node here. We have the reverse algo for algo 1. Here we swept and stayed below 29.35, which means we're bearish. So that means if we wait for retrace to get above, I'm sorry, to take a short. Let's say we took a short at this BISI right, or the SIBI right here, stop above here, then we hold until we see a 3.7, right? Analogical, like sweep level. So, you know, you could aim for here, over here, wherever we want to aim for as far as this goes. But time-wise, your next number that you'd aim for, because we're going reverse algo from 29 to 1723, now to 3.7 as our next time. So if we're using just the minutes, then we would hold till this is 107, 108, right? This is, or 103, 106, 104, 104. So 103 wouldn't have worked. I mean, it did create a 3.7, but it was a swing high. So you want to wait a little bit lower, see if you get a 3.7 with the additional, you know, paths here. So right here, 3.7. So this is, yeah, 106 created this swing low, right? So you could hold it to 106, which that 1 minute buffer, which would be 107. So that can be, that's the logic behind that. And so because the indicator tracks so many different swing highs and swing lows, actually, let me change the pivot detection to, instead of, yeah, so it's ATR filtered. Let me my length filter. Let's go like 25. Let's go maybe 3.5. And maybe that'll cut out some of the noise of the filtering. So if you do like just standard, yeah, there, cut out some of it. If you do just standard, it'll take every single swing. But that's why I prefer doing it ATR filtered. Maybe doing like a 30 length. Let's kind of just play with it. I'll play with it and see which one works best. But I find that a 3.5 or 4 ATR multiplier is going to filter out some of the noise and just give you the main swing points, which is what we want. We want swing points that take liquidity. Those are the swing points that actually matter. So anyways, I'll mess with this a little bit later and see how it does with these. I don't want to do it on this video, but I'll just play with that a little bit. But let's just leave it there, and we'll end it there with the Goldbach time. Now, Goldbach FVGs, I added this to the indicator because this is essentially trying to catch this Algo 2 sequence of catching the FVG, right? So it's this GB Algo Time FVG engine. So we're trying to catch show the BISIs or CIBs of the 17 level or 17 time, the 23 time, 29 time, or 35 time with a 1 minute buffer. So 1 minute buffer in all these. And so what that'll do is it'll show you, as you can see here, right? Extend these to the right. Where is it? Set extend right. Okay. So, what essentially, Algo, okay, it looks a little messy if you extend it to the right, but in Algo 2, essentially let me go back to extend to fixed candles. So you can, let's say I just want to keep 5 on my chart to make it not so messy, but I could do that. What you're trying to do is catch Algo to the continuation play. So in this example, we're breaking below this high. We've come to rebalance at the rebalance layer. Now we're waiting for a retrace to get back into the FVG 71, 77 level, like this BISI right, this CIBI right here, right, to enter a short. And so this is taking the FVGs at specific Goldbach times. So I know we're in premium, but the inverse is we're in the times. Obviously, there's not a 71 minute or 77 minute, right? So we just keep it as the 18 minute, the 17 minute, the 29 minute, and the 35 minute. I think is what I have there. Yeah, 29, 35, right? 17, 23, 29, 35, which is right here, right? So it's 17, the GIP level, 23, 29, 35. Anything above there would be a little bit too close to equilibrium. And it wouldn't be, your RR wouldn't be too good. Obviously, if you're going for a long, then you want to enter in that GIP level. If you miss that entry and maybe price doesn't get down there, then you enter long here at the 23 level. This is taking the time aspect of it and seeing any FVGs that are created at these specific times, 17, 23, 29, 35. So with a 1 minute buffer. So this indicator, you can just turn around to see what actually respects the level. And I'm sorry, let me zoom out. So the Algo 2 path is going from like a rejection block up to the breaker level, down to the FVG level, back, and then all the way up to the OB. That's the path of OB up here. That is the ideal path of Algo 2, taught by Poppy in his book. But price isn't always perfect like that. But what you're trying to do in this sense is catch a, let's say we get a retrace back into, let me delete this. This is a short scenario. So this 71 level. And if we get an FVG that lines up with that, then that'll essentially catch Algo 2. So let's play it out. So there's that retrace. And look, we got a, hold on. Oh, this is getting crazy at lunchtime. Okay, that didn't work. Let's see here. Now we're going above. Doing this live with today's price action. See if we have any good examples here. Okay, we got an order block. Order block level. Let's see if this continues short. So right here, we wicked above the high. We didn't close above it. We keep wicking on the high. Got to extension level. Now we should expect continuation down. And then this is catching the 16-minute FVG. And let's see if that gets respected. So you could enter right here, right on this 14:33 time. And so right there with that little tap into that FVG, and it gets respected. Oh, man, price is crazy today. Okay, never mind. Now we're going back up. So let me try to find an example of Algo 2 playing out. Okay, it keeps going back and forth. Okay, and then we're at the end of the day. That was a little wild. Let's go back. Times 850. Let's go to open here. Let's go back here. Okay. So play this out. And we're dancing around. Okay. Maybe this is not the best example for this day, but okay, here's a small example. So this high up here, after we tapped into this premium breaker level of 59, the 18 and the 16 FVGs were created. So this gets respected, and then boom, you enter in on this. Oh, I didn't quite tap it, but you could have gone in on this order block or this breaker right here. That's a good level. That's basically unicorn, a bearish unicorn, right? But basically all that this indicator does is it tracks these times, and you'll see that at these specific times of FVGs, you'll see the price will use, it's just a significant level. Like this is going to be used as boom, broke through it, support, resistance, and then now we're going down, right? Even right here, let's look at this 28 range on the 28-minute. Boom, we break below, and tap into it, reject, come above, support, when we're below it, resistance, right? So these are just significant. I mean, in addition to this being the rebalance layer, we're kind of breaking above and below, but these are just important FVGs to keep mind of in the range. So that's all it is. There's also a model from Simo. Shout out to Simo. He came up with this model. If you just leave the 35 and 29 FVGs on, to take off the 23 and 17, only show the 29 and 35. He's got some videos on his YouTube about this model, but you basically have your, let me see if I can find an example. You mark out the 29 or 35 FVG, and then you enter on a CE number that retaps into the FVG, a CE time. So let's see if one plays out. Here we go. So we got a 35-minute BISI right here, right? So let's see, it's really choppy, obviously. So what time is it? It's 11:53 at this time. And hold on a second. Okay, maybe not, that's not the best. It needs to sweep some liquidity first. So there needs to be a sweep of liquidity. That's the model, is you need to sweep some type of major liquidity. And then any BISI that forms within the 29 or 30-minute, look back here. Let me see if there's, this is formed on the 32. Let me turn on, let me look at any major liquidity sweeps here. There we go, previously high. So let's go back here. Okay, so we have previous week high swept, major liquidity, right? We have a 30-minute FVG that gets inversed right here. So you can use it as inversions, or use it as use it as an entry. But his model is that major liquidity swept, and then use that. Let's see here. What time is this? Let me see if there's any 29 or 35s. yeah, I guess it's this in this example. Yeah, and then we just dump after that. But let me see if there's a better example. So the model is that you'd enter on a CE time. So after you sweep liquidity, ideally this would be like an end node or a anchor node. This is 41, 44, kind of like a middle of the path node. But in any case, this would be swept, and let's see, 42. Let me see if there's any better examples here. How about this? Let's see, we swept Asia low. Here we go, 20-minute FVG. Okay. So in this example, we're looking at a 28-minute FVG, and then boom, right there. Okay, so I don't know why it's not keeping the lines on there, but okay, that didn't work. Let's look at, I would encourage you guys to go to Simo's YouTube. I'll link that down in the description as well. He's got some really good stuff on Goldbach Time. He just studied under AJ's public YouTube when it was available, and has created some great models out of it. So, but trying to come up with think of a good example here. It's not really shown. I mean, this could potentially be an example. So let's look at these two this range right here. These are more so just significant ranges, right? So see how this 29 and 30 FVG here gets respected. It goes through, it goes above support, goes below. Now it's rejected, lines up with London low. I mean, that's significant as well. I'm sorry, London open, not London low. Lines up with London open. And yeah, that's just these FVGs at these specific times are just significant levels. That's the main thing to take away from this. If you were just a pure Goldbach trader, these are just great to have on the chart. I combine my trading with Goldbach and quarterly theory. So I don't use these a ton, but I just see what previous ranges have done, or not ranges, but gaps have done in comparison, or not in comparison, but in line with major liquidity levels. So that's how I use it. But so to summarize, oh yeah, I wanted to add one more thing. Sorry, this video is getting a little long. So as you notice on this new indicator, or the new update on this indicator, I have ghost lines that will track, that 3 lines will track, right? And what it's doing is that it's tracking in live time, so that there's no delay. It'll track let me just make sure it seems really, where's my ghost line? It tracks 3 candles at a time to have the potential Goldbach time at the swing higher, swing low. It'll confirm the swing higher, swing low once once it's confirmed. But what this does is that you can see immediately as candles are printing the potential time for the algo path, right? So trying to find my sweep or my ghost line opacity here, and let's see here, where did it go? Okay, it looks like, and there it is, ghost line opacity. So if I do like 70% instead of 20, I'm gonna get a little lighter. There we go. So then now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, if this is the next number I'm expecting in the algo path, then I know that I'm looking for potential swing higher, swing low. But that doesn't happen, and then we continue, boom. So now it was looking for this 29.35. Once the swing low confirmed, that was the end path, and that's how it's confirmed. So just wanted to show you that. That's a new update that I added to the indicator just to ensure that there was no lag within the Goldbach time levels. So also, of course, if you want to have the calculations, you can show calculation mode. And then you can also show the SMR nodes. So that's what I call the SMR nodes. It's the end paths, the beginning paths, and then the numbers before and after them. So it's all these numbers. So that'll cut out some of the noise and just show the major points that actually matter to catch reversals. So that's typically how I have mine configured. So I only see these certain numbers. And then once I see, because not every single swing high or swing low is going to be an exact beginning number or end number. It can potentially be, the second number, like what it is here, right? This is the second number in Algo 1, and then that's the high that gets swept and then takes the low. And so anyways, that's why I like to have that particular setting on. That way I know which nodes are more significant, right? So yeah, that's it for now. Sorry, that was a kind of a long one, but hopefully that clarified some things for Goldbach Time. Again, I'll link all the teachings and things that I've learned it from with CMOS, YouTube and everything down below. If you're interested in my indicators, of course, I'll link that below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and join my free Discord, and we'll take it from there. All right, have a good day, guys. Take care.